Good morning, viewers. Well, I'm at some old ruins today to do some detecting. I was here a number of years ago. I think I had my CTX then. I remember there was lots and lots of rubbish in the ground here, but I've returned here today to have another go at it. I've got my Equinox with the big coil on. There's lots of rubbish in the ground, iron and so on, but I've got a good signal here, and I think I might have my first coin. And it looks like a Victorian halfpenny, 1877 perhaps. Looks to have been pretty good nick too. Excellent. Well, that's a good start. Hopefully there's a few more of these here. There's old brass bits from old boots. Always give you a good signal. This is the second one I found this morning. Just in this area where I found the halfpenny, there's lots of other bits of brass bits and pieces, just like this part of an old harmonica reed. Very common find in these sorts of places. They must have been fairly musical years ago. And out of this hole there was fairly high tone, but when I dug it, it was a low tone. It sort of changed, but it's a broken buckle of some sort. A solid 31 on the Equinox, and here's a big old brass buckle. And here's my first button for the day. I think it was about a 15 on the Equinox. Well, these stones around here, which is roughly a square, you can see that there used to be an old building here. And this is a prime place to detect around. As I've just found out, I've got a great signal here, and I've dug this plug, and look what we have here. I've got some silver. Oh, there's Queen Victoria, and it's a little sixpence. Not sure the date. Could be 1861, I think. Lovely. Can't beat a nice bit of silver, that's for sure. Well, the target in this hole gave a number 18 on the Equinox, which is exactly the same as lots of lead I've been digging. But this one has something a bit more interesting down here. I can see a little circle there, as though that was hooked onto something, a chain or something. Not really sure what it is. It's interesting. I'll take that one home and clean it up. It's a nice find, whatever it is. First of all, I thought this might be a coin. It came in at 18, but it's not. It's a button, I think, of some sort. Oh, it's got a bit of a blue stone or something in that side. Ah, it's interesting. Okay, a solid high 20s tone here. We'll dig that and see what it is. I'm actually not far from where I just dug that sixpence before. I think I'm just off target a little bit there. Look at that. It's one of those old lock backing plates or whatever they are. Oh well, let's keep going. I just dug this. It only came in at 14 and I thought it'd probably only be a button, but it's a little plate thing. Looks like it was attached to something. Rivets in at the end, and it's got a little handle on it. So what that might have been from, I really don't know. But just another interesting little relic. And there's a huge, big, I was going to say musket ball, but I think it's too big for a musket ball. It's very heavy chunk of lead. So not sure what that would be from. And today's first brace buckle. And you always seem to find one of these on these old sites as well. An old clock wheel, I think. Okay, right next to where the old building used to be. You can see the remaining stones from the building. And got a good signal here. And I've got a thimble. This time it's got a interesting looking design on it. And here's another buckle. This one's slightly fancier than the other ones I've found. I've just been moving around this area next to where the old building used to be. Haven't found much recently. It's a few buckles, things like that. But I think I might be in a bit of better luck here, because I think I found a coin. Looks like a penny. I dare say it'd be a Victorian penny. Yeah, I think I can see Victoria there. Can't really see much on that side, but yeah, I'll clean it up when I get home and hopefully we can get a bit more detail out of it then. Very good. That's 3 coins for today so far. There's the remains of an old orchard nearby to where I was detecting, so I've just wandered into that area and having a bit of a look. The grass is pretty long, so it's hard going. I haven't found any good signals, but up till now, that is. Here's a Jew's harp. Ah, that's a nice old relic to find. Coming up to another old ruin now, and near the old fruit tree. Here's a doorknob. I'm just doing this area here. I remember doing it years ago with my CTX. There was a lot of grass here then, and even today there's a reasonable amount of grass here. And I'm sort of at the back of this old ruin over there. What a lovely old ruin. Anyhow, I'm going really slow with a big coil, being so much rubbish in the ground, but this target really stood out. And I reckon I might have another coin. I think it's a shilling. Can't really tell what it is. It's very worn. Well, that's a pity. Anyhow, when I take it home I might be able to clean it up a bit and get an idea of what it is. Okay, let's keep moving on. Okay, I've just had lunch and I'm continuing onwards. I got quite a few bits of lead in that recently since lunch. Nothing much else good, and I've got a great signal here, and it looks like I've got a faceplate of a big old lock. Improved patent. Yeah. Just one piece of it. Something interesting. Nice old relic. A great signal, and yet another buckle. Got quite a few buckles today. I've done pretty well with them. Okay, I'm just moving down to the last ruin in the series. This is where I spent most of the time last time I was here with the CTX. I got one English shilling out of it and a few other interesting relics. Isn't that beautiful stonework on the end of that building? I knew how to do it years ago, that's for sure. Anyhow, I just got a good signal here, and just got some sort of a fitting. Interesting looking fitting, I'm not sure what from. Just got a good signal here. It was 20 on the Equinox, and I pulled out this fancy looking clasp, I think it is. Bit of decoration on there. I'm at the back of this old building. It's a challenge with the big coil. There's that much rubbish in the ground here, including pieces of iron laying in the ground, so not so good. But anyhow, I think I've got a pretty good signal here. I reckon I just caught a glimpse of something. I thought it might be a coin, but there we are, it's just a little cap of something. Oh well. Here's something a bit more interesting. It's a round piece of lead, and it seems to have some writing on it. It's on both sides, so might be one of them bag seals, something like that. Oh well, the afternoon's starting to get on a bit now. It's nearly time for me to think about going home. And I was just walking along with the detector, and got a good signal. And I might be in luck here by the looks of it. I hope I didn't scrape it. Oh, I might have just nicked it, I think. Pretty poor condition anyhow. Oh, it's an early one. Is that William IV? Oh well, slowly heading back to the car now. And here's a pocket watch winder. And here's a brass heart. I'm not sure what that would have come from. It's fairly heavy. Wouldn't have been used as a necklace or anything like that. It was probably attached to something by the looks of it. Now, I'm not really sure, but this be a clock key of some sort. Okay, on to a closer look at today's finds. And first up, here's today's most prolific find. It's lead, and lots of it. And this is only a portion of the lead I found today. And there was all sizes, big and small. A lot of these come in at 18 or 19 on the Equinox, and that's exactly the same spot as the gold sovereign does. So you just have to dig these, I'm afraid. The day that someone invents a detector that discriminates out lead, I'll be the first in line to buy one. This big lead ball that I showed you earlier has actually got a hole right through it, so I reckon it was probably a weight of some sort. Another item that gives you a great signal on the Equinox are these harmonica reeds, and I've got quite a good collection of them today. And while on the subject of musical instruments, here's the Jew's harp I found today. Not nearly as common as the harmonica reeds, but I do dig these up occasionally. And here's all today's miscellaneous objects, from doorknobs to hinges, furniture fittings, bits of old lamps and all the rest of it that you find in sites like this. And I ended up with quite a good collection of buckles from today. And here's the more fancy and decorated claspable buckle. Here's today's only thimble, and it's a bit of a step up from just the plain ones, as it's got a bit of decoration going around the top part of it. And the very last find for the day was this clock key, and on the handle part it says Ansonia Clock Company. 7 buttons for today, plus the pocket watch winder. A cool relic from today is this front plate of a big old padlock, still with keyhole surround and cover still attached, and it says improved patent. I reckon this would be a great item for a display or put in a man cave or something like that, I reckon. And here's this big old brass heart-shaped object. At the back there seems to be some attachment points, so I reckon it might possibly be like a horse brass or like in harness decoration, so I'm not really sure what else it might have been. When I first dug this item I thought, oh yeah, just another clock wheel, but it looks different than any other clock wheel I've ever found, so I'm not really sure about that. At the back is 4 attachment points, so it looks like it would have been stationary rather than revolving like a clock wheel would. I'm sort of tending to think that this might have been a horse harness decoration as well, but I could be quite wrong. Perhaps it is some sort of a clock wheel. Who knows? And here's this round lead item. It's got something enchanted stamped on it. Possibly a bag seal, I'm not really sure. First of all, I thought this was a button, but it looks pretty smooth on it and it doesn't seem to have a shank of any sort. And it's got this blue coloured stone on the other side. Perhaps it could have been an item of jewellery. Okay, let's move on to the coins now, in order of how they were found. First up was this Victorian halfpenny dated 1877, and it's in rather nice condition too. Next up came this lovely piece of silver, a sixpence dated 1881, not 1861 as I said earlier, and this one's in really nice condition too. Next coin was this Victorian penny dated 1879, and I'm afraid the condition's slipping a bit. This one's not very good at all. Actually, it looks a bit blackened, as though it might have even been in a fire. And the next coin is this silver shilling, or rather was, because the condition is so terribly bad on this one, and I just can't make out any detail at all on this side of it. And the other side is almost as bad, but I can just make out the faint outline of George III there. So this would be by far my oldest coin for the day, but unfortunately there's not even the slightest chance of getting a date from it. Often these are dated 1816 or 1817, so this one might be similar to that. And the last coin for today was this sixpence, which is extremely worn on this side, almost smooth, apart from a scratch that some detector has put there. But on the other side you can clearly see William IV, so this would date it into the 1830s. So that makes a total of 5 coins for today. 2 coppers and 3 silvers, and unfortunately some of them in rather poor condition. Anyhow, we just take them how they come. They're all a little piece of history, but the best for today is the 1881 sixpence. Now I don't know if you could put it down to a senior's moment, or perhaps the fact that I'm getting a bit slow in my old age, but when I found this I didn't have a clue what it was, and I just presumed that loop was at the top of it and it was a pendant of some sort. But as it turned out, the loop is actually at the bottom of it. And when you turn it around, we have an Egyptian pharaoh. And he's got a damaged chin, unfortunately. It's made of pressed metal, it's brass I think. In the centre top there's a bar that sort of comes up and it looks as though it's been broken off, so that might have something to do with how it was mounted. Well, it's certainly today's most interesting and intriguing find, that's for sure. I had a bit of a look on the internet but I couldn't find this exact item, but I did find out that Egyptian revival was a popular style through parts of the 19th century. But what is it exactly? Is it just an ornament? Someone suggested to me that it might be a brooch. And what went through that loop at the bottom? If any of you out there have any ideas about it, just let me know in the comments below. Well, I had a really great day today detecting in amongst the ruins, and although I dug a lot of junk, I also dug some good things. 5 coins, some other interesting bits and pieces, and today is certainly the first time I've ever dug an Egyptian pharaoh. Okay, well that's about all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll say goodbye.